Hello, good morning. My name is Praiseful, and welcome to episode 8 of PFthinks. Now, I have to quickly do this because unfortunately there's been a power issue in my house in the last one day thereabouts. So, my inverter, I've reserved it to use its last energy for me to come live with you. Now, today it's not going to be talking about live happy. Now, one of the things I have realized in life is that everyone is trying to be happy, but the problem is, how do they become happy? That's the issue that a lot of people are confronted with. Now, one thing that was done to us as humans is to have been raised by who have also been damaged by the people that raised them. So our authenticity and originality, which is actually the key to happiness, has oftentimes been taken away from us. Now, not because our parents were wicked, they did the best they could with what they knew, right? So, Jeremiah, you're welcome. What has happened over time is our real authentic self has been stolen from us. So, there are things that you now have to live in the region of right and wrong. So in your brain, there are things you cannot do because your brain is consistently troubled by what has been stuffed in there over time. So take for instance, you make a lot of money, your own money, but you can't spend the money on yourself because your brain has been messed up with the fact that, hey, whatever money you make is not for you, is for other people. So consistently people try to become God and save the rest of the world while they have not saved themselves. There are people who make enough money to take their family on vacation, but they feel guilty to take their family on vacation, because of what has been loaded in their brain, right? Meanwhile, there are contrary evidence that shows that many of the people teaching them the things they are learning are going on vacation. One of the worst conditioning I've seen in life is when your oppressors do something contrary to what you have been taught, right? And you praise and defend and hail them to say, well, maybe it's going for official assignment and blah, 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 blah. People rob themselves of their own happiness in order to please other people. So instead of going for vacation, you begin to feel guilty that the money can actually send 25 people to school. Now, problem is, a lot of people drop dead without enjoying life. As a matter of fact, very few people live life because their life is based on the happiness of other people. People have set expectations over their lives that many people can no longer live their life because of the cocoon that the people or society has placed them. So one of the things people do not understand is one of the main trust of you being a human being is the ability to take decisions that promote your wellness. So people are boxed into a corner because even though they know the right thing to do, which will wellness, they consider what other people will think about what they want to do. So they sacrifice their happiness for what other people will do, what other people will feel. Meanwhile, these other people don't care a hoot about you. They don't pay your bills. They are not even going to give you a loan, right? But you want to live life to please them. Now, that's a tragedy. People of what people. A lot of people that I've met deep down are not happy with their state. They are not happy with what they earn. They are not happy with the way they live. Now, there are so many things on their bucket list that they have not ticked. There is a life they desire. So what happens is this: the people they detest, who they say are bad people, they are living the life they, right? And they wish they were in that position. Though, despite the fact that that's what they wish for, when they are with their people, the Joneses, they have to rubbish those people and mask it that, after all, he's going to go to hellfire. But that is the life you want. Why are you not having that life? Why are you not going for what you want? You realize that your brain has been loaded with a lot of information which has instilled fear into you. You want to be rich. Why are you not rich? Because you're not going for riches. Somewhere down the line along your brain, You have been told that rich people cannot make heaven, right? Deep down, there is a conditioning that says to you, every rich man is using something, right? Yet you call on the name of the Lord. Is that not something you are using? If the something you are using is not producing the result you have been promised, you need to check it. I have learned over time, I just finished reading a book, The Business Secrets of the Jews, that many things that we do, the Jews don't do it, yet the Jews are prosperous. Why are they prosperous? Because the Jews have a pattern of appointing a teacher who is going to teach the child on how to succeed. Which is why for you to become the head of a synagogue in the Jewish, the high priest, you must be successful, because it is believed that if you are successful in business, you'll be successful in everything else that you do. It's a fundamental belief. So what has happened is that the Jews have a lot of role models who are happy, role models who are wealthy, role models who know what they're doing, who have clarity, role models who are global. And when you have a role model who are global, your path to becoming global becomes very easy. So you find out how they meditate, care what you guys they need to do to get to the level they need to get to. So consistently, I have seen the conflict in the heart of a lot of us. There is what you think you should do that is sure to take you to where you want to get to, but most times what you want to do that will make you happy contradicts the system that is an important. Do not know anything about you. They don't know your peculiarity. They don't know your journey. They just felt, hey, this is the path that you must take, if and not take you to where you need to go. I often tell my mentees, every time you do something that your common sense, if you use common sense, it cannot take you to where you really want to go, it is time to check it. So for example, if you say to me that you are poor, right? You are poor, you need ₦1 million. And I have the capacity to give you ₦1 million. Instead of giving you ₦1 million, I ask you to roll on the floor, right? And go on 7 days of fasting, right? That if you do that, I believe that a miracle will happen. The sensible question you should ask me is, sir, can you put it in a sheet of paper and write it down that guaranteed what you are prescribing will solve the problem? Now, if what I'm prescribing is not guaranteed to solve the problem, what I'm doing is I am not better than Naira Bet. I am playing kalu kalu with your life, right? And it's very foolish to follow that prescription, because what I should do to solve that problem is to write a check can solve your problem. Why am I subjecting you to a lot of hardship, right? And make you go through a lot of hardship that cannot produce the result that you want. Every time profession contradicts action, someone is being deceived. And that's how a lot of people have been messed up, that their life cannot produce the result they want. They are not happy, but they have to fake it that they are happy. So when they sing, if you are happy and you know it, clap your hand, they clap their hand, even though they are not happy. Why must you clap your hand when they say if you are happy, clap your hand? When you are not happy, you realize that they don't want to feel like the odd man out. They've been socially conditioned to behave like every other person, to clap when everybody claps. When I was on campus, fellowship on campus, which was a Christian fellowship, and I noticed that every time we finish service, right, I noticed that once we shared the grace, people still knelt down to pray, right? So I just joined them to do it from year 1 to year 3. By year 3, one day I asked myself, we've just shared the grace, why am I kneeling down to pray again, right? And I realized that I didn't even know, unconsciously I started doing what everybody's doing. So I began to ask people who kneel down to pray after the grace, to say, why are you praying again? And I realized that everybody also met it like that, and that's why everybody does it. What are the things you are doing in your life today that you are doing it simply because someone told you? It's not your belief. Many people, majority of the people on this planet, will never really live their authentic life because they have been boxed in the corner by people set expectations over their life. Your parents set expectations over your life. There is how they think you should succeed, even though they did not succeed, right? Society will place expectation over your life. There's a way they expect you to, even though they are not living like that, their children are not living like that. Religion place expectation over your life, expecting you to move in a particular way, even though if you activate your eyes, you will realize that they are not following that path. over your life. They expect you to follow everything they are telling you to say, even though their children are not doing the same thing, right? Everyone seems to just want to mess you up. The system is designed to mess you up and steal your happiness away from you. What truly makes you happy, oftentimes we contradict make them happy. But what I have realized over time is that even God moves beyond right and wrong sometimes to activate his power, right? So if you read carefully the pages of the Holy Bible and the pages of the Quran and some of the holy books that people talk about, you will see God's variation. That God thinks about purpose. God thinks about project. If God wants to achieve a project, whatever will achieve that project is what God will do. I'll give you an example. Now, every time people read about King David, they want to be like King David, and all they do is prayer, which is fine. I love prayer. I pray a lot. But mention one territory that David took without going to war. Mention one territory that Moses took without going to war. So which men? Moses held axe, he held chariots. There were cavalry of men who rode horses to go to war, which is equivalent of holding guns. Now, what we quote is our weapon of our warfare, not carnal, but Peter had a sword by his side, right? So consistently, you realize that some of the recommendations we make to wage war and win war doesn't even make sense at all. When was the last time you saw any army go to war just singing, and they are going to war singing? When was the last time you saw that happen on this planet? Right. So you need to understand that many of the things people believe, right, contradicts the right process to powering their happiness. When someone feels like, oh, what will make me happy is to go out and dance salsa, right? But there is a conditioning in his brain that if they go think say you don't leave God, or they'll think that you have left God. So he won't sacrifice his happiness for a voice he knows nothing about, right? Even though he's doing it secretly, which is why you find out that people suffer from schizophrenia, which is living a double life, because so they have a closet life, they have an outward life. The real life is the closet life, but they are afraid of what people will say, so they have to do it secretly because of what people will say. Now, how do you become happy? I always use the happy model, HAPPY, where H stands for your heart. Today, many years ago, and people ask me, Praise, how did you become like this? I said to them that the only thing I did was that many years ago, I dumped everything I have been taught, and I told God in my room, I was in tears, that God, I'm confused about life. Can I trash everything I've been taught and now depend on you to teach? Inspired by what others are saying that I can verify and that makes sense to me. But I will no longer take hook, line, and sinker information that cannot promote my happiness. It was the late Sean Stevenson who said, never believe a prophecy that doesn't empower you. Never believe a prophecy that doesn't empower you. From that moment I made that prayer, it turned my life around. Which is why I always recommend the movie PK to everyone who is within my circle. The title of the movie is PK, P and K. If you check Netflix, you will find it. If you check YouTube, you will find it. You can watch it. Now, what do I need to do? H stands for your heart. What does your heart tells you are the best at? Lock yourself up today and search your soul. There is something your heart tells you you are very good at that you can do, right? Every time you see someone else does it, you can criticize them. You tell them, no, I can do this better. This is not how to do it. It is a clue to what you should be doing with your life. Search your soul and ask yourself, what am I maybe you are supposed to be doing to be a dancer, but you have been told by people in your life that dancers are going to lose God, or God is going to, how can you lose God? Is God that in your heart? It's about your values at the end of the day, right? What does your heart tells you that you are good at, or you can do, or you can become the best at? A stands for your ability. What is that thing that comes naturally to you? Some people want to do fashion, but they are holding mic, preaching, right? Even though fashion is what they really want to do, but they have been told, if you don't preach, you won't go to hellfire. Why can't you become a fashionista, fashion icon, and preach through your fashion? or get to the top of the mountain so that you can reach out to fellow celebs and bring them to God or convince them about your work. Let your light, let your solution become visible among men, that they may see your good product and praise your Father in heaven. So what is that your natural ability? What would you have done without your certificate? Certificate is a big hindrance to many people that disqualify them from what they should be doing with their life. So you now have a certificate, you feel, how can I be an auto mechanic, right? Meanwhile, you can actually have the brain to organize all the mechanics and make them more functional. So what is that natural ability that you do effortlessly? Something that comes naturally to you. If you have not gone to school, what would you have done with your life and you still have become successful, right? That is A. First P is your personality. There's a reason why God made you an introvert or an extrovert. If you check the answer to question, 1 and 2, H and A, you will now understand why you are the way you are, right? So if you say your A is like your heart tells you you are the best counselor and you are a thinker, you are an introvert, you will now understand why you are an introvert, because you can listening to them, right? So that is P. Now the second P is your passion. What is it that when you do it, you don't remember food, you don't remember time? What is it that when you do it, you are engrossed in it, you don't remember food, forget about right and wrong right now. What is that thing, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, leave that aside now. That when you do it, you don't remember food, you don't remember time, that is your life. You need to build a business around it. Your answer is, when I'm gossiping about people, hey, I forget about food, I forget about time, you may need to start a blog that reports people, that talks about people, analyze people. You may need to start that blog now, right? You need to find that thing that you are most passionate about. If what you're passionate about that takes your time, it is singing, you may need to do it. If it is dancing, you may need to do it, right? If it is eating, you may need to start a business around food or food tasting or food blogging or something like that. Forget right and wrong right now and ask yourself, what am I truly passionate about? What I'm truly passionate about is what I'm doing. Forget it. I love to illuminate. I love to bring clarity to people. I love to sit with them and design solutions to complex relationship issues. That's what I love, and that's why I can get up from bed. Even though there was no light in my house, I had to reserve my inverter to do this, right? It can go off any moment from now, but it's fine. Now, so what are you most passionate about? What is that thing that when you're doing it, you don't remember food, you don't remember time, right? It could be acting, right? You may need to get into acting. Cast your fears to the wind right now, because fear is just in your brain. It doesn't exist. It is what you have been conditioned. Now, people try to protect you, but they strike fear into you. So, for example, at the age of 6, you stood on a table and you wanted to jump down. Your parents loved you. What did they say? Don't jump so that you don't break your leg. How has jumping, what has jumping got to do with breaking of leg? So you attach daring things to injury, right? They could have said, yes, you can jump, but this jump is for age 10. When you are 10, you can jump this jump, right? Let me set the jump for age 6 so that you can jump. That way they would have still told you it's not right, it's not wrong to jump. It's just that you need to check the height and be sure that it's the right height for you. Now, but they struck fear into you. They say you break your leg, so you stop daring things. So what are you passionate about, right? That is P. So we have talked about H, which is your art. A is your natural ability. P is your personality. P is your passion. Y is yesterday. There's a reason for what you have gone through. What happened in your past that you don't want to go through. There's a reason. Don't waste it. There was a reason why what happened in your life happened to you. Don't waste it. What happened in your past that you don't want others to go through? What pain have you been through that you don't want others to go through? There is a reason for your pain. Don't waste it, right? So you need to channel your pain, process your pain. Oprah is selling her pain. Joyce Meyer has been selling her pain. There are so many people in the world selling their pain. What they've been through, they don't want others to go through it, and that is what has defined them. The same way for you, right? Every pain you've gone through in life is the suspense in the movie of your life, tending towards your happy ending. Your life is a best-selling story, so you need to process your pain. Why do I consistently fall in this area? Why do I consistently fail in this area? It's a pointer to the solution that has been placed in you to help others from. Now, if you process your HAPPY, your art, your ability, your personality, your passion, and your yesterday, you will find your life. I dare you to start living your life from today. I dare you to focus on what makes you happy. If you have to eat, if you have to dance, if you have to, maybe what is in your mind, and it is to, wear knicker or wear your trouser, or do your fashion in a particular way, maybe like didn't relate. If that will make you happy, why don't you try it out? What that can happen is that you will fail. If you fail, you will not fail, you will learn. In fact, John C. Maxwell talks about failing forward. But you need to set yourself free from expectations over your life that doesn't empower what you want to do. You have to set, I love that place in the Bible. I think it's Good News Translation that says, from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of God suffereth abnormality, and only the abnormal press into it. Have you not noticed that the abnormal people are the ones the world clap for? They are the ones who innovate. They are the ones our world wait for. Mention one normal person that you know who is a global icon, you will not find. Mention one normal person who has built a conglomerate, you will not find. Mention one normal person who has built a big business. Doing something on this planet about to go against the norm, and that's why they are successful, because they are they take risk and they go against the norm, even though nobody's listening to them. They went against conventional wisdom and they produce results, and that's why the whole world is clapping for them. The whole world will step aside for someone who knows exactly where he wants to go. I need you to be true to your mind. God says Jesus says he has placed eternity in your heart. There is eternity in your heart. Heaven dwells within you. Pay attention to what your heart is telling you that you are the best at. Go ahead, try it out, right? Once it doesn't contribute your values, it's actually your values, not the values imposed on you. Please go ahead, try it out. They asked the founder of Virgin, how come you do a lot of things? He said, I set a business around everything I'm passionate. The same thing, you can do it. There are skills you may need to learn online. Go online, learn it. There are people you want to learn from, even though they may not believe what you believe. In fact, you may think they are bad people, but they have the success you want. Go after them. Set aside your pride. Go and learn from them. Don't let anybody butt you up and say, no, there's nothing you can learn from unbeliever. There's a lot you can learn from unbeliever, because there's a lot that unbelievers have innovated that you are using right now, and you are paying for it. Go to the ant. If the Bible can ask you to go to the ant and go and learn, which is an animal or a ant, then how much more? Why can't you learn from human beings who have demonstrated success in a particular way that you need help with? Bury your shame, bury your pride, go after what makes you happy. Trust me, when you land on the other side, the same people who vilify and criticize you are the same people who will clap for you. Spectators are never consistent. If you play well, they will say, eh. If you play badly, they will say, ooh. The same people. So you don't want to live your life setting based on their expectation, because their expectation is not consistent, since their praises and their boos are not consistent. I hope this has helped someone today. Thanks to everyone who has joined me again. This is episode 8. We are going to 365. I believe that we will land there. Thank you so much. Listen to this over and over again. Tell your friends about it. You can join my community, which is Savior's Planet. We do a whole lot in there. It's a closed Facebook group, but you need to send an invite for me to accept you. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. Go ahead. Be happy. Bye-bye.